You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the July 23rd, 2024 meeting of the Long Beach Park Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Here we are. Call to order. July 23rd Parks Board meeting 2024. Everybody is present today except for Paul. So we do have a quorum, so we can make decisions if we need to. First order of business will be to approve June minutes. I wrote through them. I'm okay with them. Very well done, Mark. Anybody have any changes?
No.
No. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. After everybody. Okay, we'll go with ongoing business first, and Sarah is in person. You're blessed.
And we're sad. Yeah. Where's your partner?
She's home today. They're having a bonfire tonight, so she opted for that instead. Summer camp is actually almost done. We're in our 6th week out of the 7. We currently have 140 kids registered, and we're at one of our highest ever for having kids register the whole summer, which is really great. It helps with planning, numbers, staffing, all those things. Friday is our Zoom field trip. We rescheduled. It was supposed to be tomorrow, and tomorrow has thunderstorms, and last year was a disaster with the thunderstorms. So it's Friday. And then on our last day, per the usual, the fire department is going to spray down the kids at the very end of camp, sending them home nice and soaking wet at the end. This year we did run into a logistics issue with Sue Bissing does her girlfriend sale, and which is an area we need to kind of clear up. I think the community center committee has to be a part of this a bit more, where that's last day of camp is her first day of the sale. So logistics wise, it's going to be a little bit aggressive at the community center. We've already looped in chief on that to see if we can get some help with just the flow of traffic, safety for the kids, because it can be close to 100 kids, if not more, that are present, adults, golf carts, strollers, stuff like that, all kind of converging on the community center at the same time. Stu's been great to work with. We're doing our best to figure it out. We think we have a plan. We're going to communicate some things both to our families and then to her people via the major in her Facebook group to hopefully equip people as best they can for that date.
Has that ever happened before?
No.
Just coincidence?
Yeah, sort of.
It was supposed to be this weekend, but she deferred it for a week because of our park. So it's
Yeah, and that's
one of those, even one more week more.
yeah, it's one of those things. Normally it's always been about this coming weekend, and I think that the addition of this shifted some things for her there. But that was one thing I've asked for a while, from Joe to possibly have a calendar available to us where we can all see and kind of navigate these things ahead of time, because Sue and I just happened upon it about a week ago, and we tried to call our own, like we can't just shut down roads. So we invited Chief into it. We have a tentative plan that we're going to see how he can help with putting some barricades in some places to hopefully protect those kids. Not a huge overlap where it's going to be a problem, but it's enough that we want to be sure that we're equipped on our end. So then we have First Saturday Arts on August 3rd. We decided to delay. We're going to start play class actually this coming weekend. We're going to run through when I will no longer be employed here, and we didn't feel that was a good place to have a class of that size overlapping with me going and somebody taking over. So Erin's informed on that, and we will look to do something hopefully within the next month or so, based on her schedule and when she goes back to teaching.
Sorry, which art class is that?
There's a clay class.
The clay?
Yeah, she's gonna be doing a clay class that is primarily needle based, so it's gonna be small than a last one that could host 10. I think her goal is like 4 to 5. And especially we already have the people that have requested space in the class when it comes available. This was a much more of a hot class than I thought it was going to be. So there's the interest we just logistics wise, and then coverage wise, want to be sure that that's set up for success too, because of the multiple days needed to be able to do the class. Moving the park was a success. At our peak point, we had around 100 people there. It's worked really well to continue to have it the same night as the ice cream social. And they now offer the popcorn has been great too, because people munch on ice cream and bring the popcorn over and hang out. Location actually ended up being really great considering the move of the memorial garden space. Even with the space of growing new grass, it was good. I'm still not sure exactly where that new septic tank field is gonna go.
It was marked, I could show you.
Okay,
Yeah.
and just for leading notes for future people about where we did it, it's not to be sure that.
It's sort of next to the,
Okay,
running almost parallel.
okay, perfect, that's great, that's good to know, just for my own notes for them. Because it was nice, big space, easy to view, we used our blow up screen this year, it was amazing, so much simpler. Art in the Park is coming up, we have, summer camp staff that help support that, specifically the kids, art trail that they do. I have a director who will be there to help get it started, and 3 staff members that will be there for the full length of the activities. We've been covering the purchasing of needed supplies for them, and I will print those receipts, and I know it comes out of the activities fund, but in the past, we've tried to kind of just keep track of what supplies is actually needed for this event. So those will come once we're done with that event as well.
There one
Yeah,
question about that. Are you doing any communication with the parents about Art in the Park?
yeah, we have. We send home, when there's events like this, we send them home, a flyer. We also will link it to our Facebook page. We try to kind of do whatever is our next thing to keep that flow. We post all the time on the activity page as well. This year, we actually have a lot of parents that now have done it the last couple of years, so they already know to keep an eye out, which is great. But it's a big factor for that. But yes, we do communicate with the parents. It's also been posted around the community center too, which is helpful in many places.
People are seeing it at house, make comments to me about it, and our Facebook pages get a lot, and we have a huge amount of people on that Facebook
Mhm.
page, so that's getting out,
Mhm.
so
How
that's good.
So that I'll turn all the receipts for Art in the Park separately as one thing. We also had our first, we've done in the past, cookie decorating class in the summer. The woman that normally does that had a baby and was not available during this time, and we actually found a new vendor that did cookie kits for them to be able to come pick up, and it had, their cookies that then had 3 different frostings and sprinkles, and we had just tremendous feedback from that. Families loved it. Submitting pictures to us, it was a great experience. That's something we will maybe figure out how to use it again, because families loved, they could take it home and do it at their leisure. So something we added that was really great. Judy, I think for me.
When was that?
The pickup for that was Friday the 19th. So that was last Friday, a few days ago,
So your last day is when again?
August 5th.
Okay.
That will allow me to submit all receipts from that first Saturday art class. And wrap up all that bookwork.
Would you be able to sit down with us and have like a special meeting and just
Absolutely.
walk through everything you do? Like, I don't know, I mean, I know what you do.
Yes.
I see what you do, but I don't know what goes on.
And that, I would love to do that. I think it's something that would be super helpful. Also, I'd love to talk about, some potential options.
Yeah.
To fill my shoes. I have.
Absolutely, yes. That's a way bigger discussion than we can have in this room.
Yep.
So I would,
100%.
do we have to do anything, make it a public thing? Just sit down and talk with her?
No, you don't have to do it in public, you can just be anywhere.
Okay.
You know, so-
We'll go buy dinner somewhere and do it that. Okay, so we will figure that out.
Okay.
And you know this, but you've done just a ridiculously amazing job.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone's gonna be, do people know this?
We're travel fast. I just.
Do the kids know? I mean, I don't.
I tend to be more of like exit quietly, not make a big deal of things. My directors know, and as a Friday, the rest of my staff will know. I told the directors ahead of time, just so if you have a strong objection to me putting you forth as someone to replace me, like, come talk to me. If you have a super strong, like, I want this to talk to me, and nobody objected. So, my directors are on board and they know what's up, and a few families do, by like the News Travel Fest, but, yeah, so maybe after camp, I'll make it more known.
Okay, well, we'll,
In your future?
I actually have another job. I'm the director of elementary ministry at our church, and, I joke with husband all the time, if I could do this year round would be great, but the catch is with our kids right now, and the age that they're at, it was hard to be gone on Saturdays. It was hard to be gone in the evening for play class and bingo and some of those things. And so this last year just really kind of took a toll on us, and I said, I'll give it through summer just to see And we just decided for now, it's not adding something else, it's just eliminating something for our family and our kids.
That's a good.
Yeah, I know.
Sarah, sure, there's something we could do to make it better, and we would do it. But I didn't want to put you pressure on, you sound like you have the mind made up, but you know, that option's always out there if you wanted to come back and help again, but.
Thanks. I'm
Yes.
hopeful we'll find someone that, a good fit. I think you have some good candidates from within that would be excellent to just kind of ease into this, so.
So August 5th relative to town council meeting, I don't want to get up and say anything if it's not, out there yet,
I probably will, if it's okay, just go, yeah, never mind what we do all when she's gone and probably just make sure she gets kudos, is that what you're talking about?
I'll talk about that, but I don't want to do that before Sarah's ready for that to be.
You give them August 12th is the.
Well, okay,
So it's your time, yeah,
able to,
the law.
Okay. good.
And your last day is the fifth?
But, yeah, okay. So the biggest thing that we're gonna have to just consider, and it is an option considering, the next first Saturday are falls around, Labor Day, and we have, depending on exactly where it falls, it's kind of weird this year. We could skip that, but I would love to have someone or plan in place if we want to have that first Saturday art class, if someone does need to be there. Erin can run it pretty much on her own, but we do need to have someone from the town there, even if it's having a director just cover in the meantime for that event. That's the only major thing. I've tried to kind of space stuff out. That's the only thing that is kind of time sensitive, for us. I believe that.
Well, we'll get into some of these details when we have this, wrap up meeting and try to figure all that out. And like, right, you don't even technically report to anyone, really, do you? I mean, the town, or you report to chief?
I report to you guys. Different people for different things. So like Meg is where I spend a lot of my financial questions. Chief, a lot of like my HR questions. You guys are more my logistics. And then the community center committee is for like room reservation and stuff, but.
Yeah, well, that works because you're you, it may not work for somebody else, maybe some management, that could be interesting, because none of us are paid raise either, so.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna work, if we do get into somebody that needs managing, it's probably gonna have to be a town employee that's doing the managing. It's gonna be interesting, so we have a lot to talk about, so, in a short amount of time. But thank you so much for everything you've done for the town.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Is there anything else that you need from me? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, Beach Garden Club update, Janice wasn't able to be here today, she sent me something else as I was on my way down today, I don't have enough time to get to it and do that justice, so we can, table that to the next meeting. It's written, so, you've got it, or I can send it to you, Mark.
That'd be great.
Okay. Tennis court resurfacing, that is complete. Yeah, done, paid for. Yeah, I mean,
I haven't heard from anybody one way or the other, other than it looks great.
I've heard a lot of things, yeah, people, I'm friends and I ride bikes and with a lot of people who play pickleball, so they're like in these big pickleball, threads, text threads, and they're all going crazy, so they're all very happy, and yeah, people are really, really happy. Random people are coming up to me that I don't know how they even know I'm a part of the parks board. saying that to me, so.
That's the person who say, oh, there were still dead spots.
It could be, I mean, maybe tennis players are seeing other things, but, you did a really good job with that, appreciate you taking that on, thank you. Good, success story, we'll take that off in minutes. Stop landscaping and general upkeep, we don't have Paul with us today, I think when we start talking about stop 22, we'll get into some other topics around that, but, and we got some old business like 24 landscaping, so we'll hit that in a minute. Community center, Memorial Garden project update, that's really for Janice, but it's done. We're waiting on one thing before we, put the, sealant in between the bricks, and I can't remember what she had said about that. Anybody else remember? Anyway, it's mostly done. Nothing can damage it at this point, but I think maybe she was waiting on getting a few more bricks to put in that we have before that could be sealed off, and then we gotta do some planting around the outside of it, but that's done, that's paid for. Keely's did a nice job with that. And then Art in the Park.
Okay, well, we're down to,
Yeah.
down to the wire. A few things. I'm gonna be on WEFM early Thursday morning to talk about it. And we're very happy that I was able to get Johnny B to come to be our live music. That, I think he has a following of his own, and I think that will be a big draw. Sorry, who's this? Johnny B. He, he's a local musician. And, I think, it's a good fit to have him there. And, the ad came out in the Beecher today and the mention and the things going on. And, just if anybody, hopefully everybody will come by.
Oh, sure.
With volunteers. There aren't that many people requesting tables, so I'm not gonna have to schlep too many tables around, which is good, mostly just for the kids' activities, but that'll be at 7 AM. The only really disappointing thing is the taco food truck canceled for some reason, and I tried really hard to find a replacement food truck and I could not. So I've been talking to Bell and Flop, they're gonna be open, and Velvet Ice Cream will be there. So, hopefully that's not a big disappointment.
I don't think it will be. I don't think it'll be a big deal.
Okay, I'm hoping not. I tried really hard with Little Giant to talk him into selling slices of pizza, and he just wasn't, interested at all. So I just, it's a gold mine, right?
Free money.
What was the ice cream? Velvet. Ice cream.
We do that every year. We pay for it all. We just go up and get ice cream, it's covered.
And exactly how does that happen? Does, May take care of it that day or how?
Joy was the one that used to do that, so I'd shoot her an email and see how that worked.
Okay.
Probably not that day. I
Okay,
wouldn't think.
I think it was like a set price.
Yeah.
Because you get like the only thing that food covers like a scoop, and then Taco Bell itself stands for yourself if you want it. So I think it was as part of their company, they already have maybe even been paid. Like agreed upon upfront charge, I think it was, for price of the week.
I'll call him again this week to just touch base and make sure he knows all that what he's doing and, so that's pretty much it. I think there's more vendors than ever and I think it's gonna be more organized than ever. I really pursue to, have a map of where everybody should be, so they're not just scattered around in a logical order, so people know if they've been to everyone or not, and, and met with, Barb about the children's activities too, and I think that's good. She's getting volunteers, yes.
Who is doing tables that you need? Because I know you actually before the bit of the situation, we had to take down some of our tables for summer camp and then we all like 32 tables or whatever. Do we need to do that?
I don't think so, because from what Sue told me today, only a couple of the vendors are needing tables. And it would just be the 5, or however they made for the kids. I know somewhere in the pavilion too, right?
The big tables.
Yeah, so I would say it shouldn't be an issue, but
Okay.
I'll be there really to take care.
And with our field trip being Friday, we are not here.
Okay.
Last time, it came Friday, and after, we love the whole overnight.
Okay, yeah, we'll probably do that Friday, get them on the,
We will not be there.
yeah, that's okay. We can take, how many vendors are there? 21.
Did that one email that I got to you?
I think it got to Sue.
Okay.
Yeah, well, maybe I got it forwarded, but I've been fielding them too,
Okay.
and so,
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I think the first time we did it, we had like 12 or something.
that's great. Yeah, it's,
Cool.
and Chief has been brought in, about parking and traffic and all that, so.
All right,
So,
great. You've been busy.
I've been busy.
Thanks for all your work on that. Sure. Okay, any more ongoing business before we move on to the old business? So, okay, encroachments at stop 29. I walked down there right before this meeting to see where we were with that. So it's just frustrating. I'm getting frustrated with this whole process. So we were originally going to fix those trees. We're here. Decided with those trees, the various contractors that looked at moving them decided that they couldn't be moved without destroying the bulbs and said they weren't gonna move them. So I told Tim that that's out. And Tim's like, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want them gone. Okay, what you do? They need to be gone. And he said, can we somebody, Healy's or somebody, or Woodruff asked me, can we, or Chief did, and said, can we just cut them at the base and leave the root system so that we don't have erosions? Sure, cut the root. So we asked the tree board here in the last meeting if that's okay, and everyone agreed. So I sent a note and said, cut them down at the base, don't care, get them out, and they're all still there, all 12 of them. So he's moved some rocks around from one place to the other, and they're all still there. So I'm gonna send a note when we get done with this, to Chris Willoughby. I'm not gonna make it adversarial or anything, because there has been a whole bunch of back and forth. I'm just gonna say, look, they're still there. I asked them to get rid of them. It's July. They haven't moved. So it's not like anybody used to use that area, but we've been talking about this for so long. So anyway, it's clear that I believe that he just doesn't want to do it, but he's gonna end up doing it. So I'll stay on that.
Are we gonna have the, budget to plant dune grass then, or?
We can plant dune grass. Dune grass is not expensive in that area, you know? So I think we will, we can pick that up on our landscaping budget. I can't remember what it is per bulb, but it's like 80 cents a bulb, and you need to put one every 6 inches, something like that. It's not a whole lot of area there.
And then are we thinking still potentially a fence?
We do need to put a fence in. There's several places in the town that we could look at putting a fence as part of this other discussion around 22. That one needs a fence. That one definitely needs a fence. And it's not gonna be expensive because we're not putting a big fence in. It's really short. It just goes from the rocks to his retaining wall. It won't be a lot of money. We just need to get that. I wanna get, we're gonna decide hopefully tonight, where in the town do we think we need fences? Get one contractor to quote putting split rails up and all these different stops, decide which ones are priority, and then we can start knocking them out. Not every stop needs to happen, in my opinion. You know, we can try to be consistent, but there's so many areas that we can't really put a fence that makes it a bit complicated. So let's get into that in just a second. Stop 18 is almost done. They were gonna add a bench to that pad area, I believe, is all that's left. It'll be a small one, so out, 3 or 4 people can sit there. It is a small area, so I'm a little concerned. We're gonna make that tight, but the residents around the area still do want to see a bench there, so we'll put one there. If they don't like it after it's there, we'll take it out. But the walkway looks good. The path down to the sand has survived all the holiday weekend and all the summer. And it still looks like it was just installed relative to the sand, which is what I was worried about. You don't have to take a big step down. It looks good, and no one's complaining. Matter of fact, Gary Ball sent a nice email to the town about it. He's one of the ones that was concerned with it. So I think 18 is good for now. We'll see what weather does to it. Any disagreements on that? Stop 24, the damage, is not bad. Matter of fact, if you didn't even know what happened, you wouldn't even notice that, honestly. I don't, there's emails back and forth between the insurance company, chief, and the parks board about the roughly $14,000 claim. And then we'll have some money to replace the bench. We'll have to replace both benches and replace that split rail bench, but that's really the only damage that was done at a stop. And there's really not a lot of urgency to get that done, but we will get a healthy chunk of money that we'll have to probably put to that, guessing legally. I'm guessing we have to do that, split it to that, which is fine. We're gonna move this Moon Valley subject to next month, because that was Paul. And then, the only new business we had for this month was the, Stop 22 construction damage, which is the emails back and forth. It takes those pictures, Kendra, when you take pictures, they're super tiny.
Oh, I think it's if I attach them, and I just say attach. I think something from my phone again.
That's okay, I got better pictures, so if you wanna see the 29 looks like, this is today, no. That's from the further down, so most of these trees need to come out, all of these trees. All of these, it's like 7 here and 5 out,
And how long have they been in the ground now?
2 years, maybe more.
Okay,
It was brought up to them when they started breaking soil, it was brought up to them, and they came down.
that's always.
Yeah, and you can see how it's dug around with balls, these small, to be moved, but nobody says they can move them, so. It's not worth the effort. So here's 22. I know it's hard to see them over there. The stake is here. So the stake is all the way up against his house. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
Because really technically that rail, that right there, just from looking at the stake.
That's just like,
The split rail fence would be right, yeah, would be right there. So if we put a split rail fence in, it would go through all those trees, through the landscaping, onto his property, like not his property, but onto where his deck is built, and then down to the seawall. I just don't know how, we don't have an issue with top. And it would be like it'd be like a 5-foot fence from here to here. The contractors, I believe, are running stuff from basement.
Yeah.
Around the side of the house.
Yeah, they are.
To the back, this is what's going on there.
yeah,
So I think, this is my opinion only on this one. If somebody can draft up an email to all of those people that Kendra had in that email and just say, we need this fixed. We need that. That is not a pathway that is yours to use. That is public property. That needs to be fixed. We want to see a note from your contractor to confirm you're going to resod and you rewater and you're going to fix that area. And you're not going to use that spot as a walkway from your property down to the beach. If they get combative about that, then when we start talking about fine. Do you want to have a fence up against your property? Because we'll prevent you from walking there if you want us to. Technically speaking, we can do that right now. So 19, we have precedent for this. They tore it up at 19, made them fix it, they fixed it. We never came back in and posted a fence in there because the same situation, like we've got landscaping on one side. And we've got the house right up against the property line on the other side. The only other place we did us for rail fence was 14, right up because she had a garage door on the east side there. So we put a split rail fence up there. And other stops, just from my walks today, 29 is gonna get one. 30 doesn't have one. I don't know how we put one in. 28 does not have one, and there's really nowhere to put one there unless went into the woods and then up against that guy's property up into the berm, where nobody can walk anyway. 26 is sort of naturally blocked, but there's no fence there. 24 is there's no fence on either side of there. It's also naturally blocked by shrubs and weeds and things like that. So to me, it's not like we can just say, we are gonna put split rail fence in every single stop in Long Beach, but we can put a list together and see, here's where we have it. This is where we would like eventually to have it everywhere, we can say that. But we're gonna prioritize and do it where we are having problems or having a problem recently, which you could argue 19, you could argue 21, 29, and then we're at least being consistent with our messaging. 15 doesn't have it. Nobody really, the neighbor to the east takes care of that lot, our lot. So we could spend money to put a fence up there. I don't know if it would do us any good, and it would delineate it.
yeah, I would think only where there are potential issues, because the more fences we put up, then the more maintenance we have. So,
That's also true. I like being consistent normally, but I also like being pragmatic when you put a fence up against something, it's gonna look ridiculous. You put a fence up against someone's home.
yeah,
And it will, and I don't even know I don't know how that got there to begin with, just because grandfather then, who knows?
Which
The
that,
greenhouse. That property might run right up to that, it runs right up.
yeah,
So we would literally be putting the fence right up next to his hand.
Yeah, I think that my personal opinion is they're probably gonna put up some sort of fence themselves, just because
They might.
that stopped the joy of the family that owned that for like 80 years, literally. Everybody just put their stuff and she didn't care, and it was, but now it's so much more crowded and all that stuff, and these people may not you know, people used to leave their, when the stops were historical or whatever, people would just leave all their crap, that's not leaving up against your fence.
On both sides.
Yeah, both. So I'm saying those people, whoever buys that it might take care of itself to, like, they might decide like, hey, we just wanna delineate for people, like, what's ours, so they might end up putting up something, and then that way we don't have to, because then we don't want our fence and their fence up facilities.
Well, I guess the question is if, then in that case, if their deck is right there, they would potentially be putting a fence up on our property, right?
Which they wouldn't be allowed to.
Right, I mean, any new thing they do technically with that piece of decking, it is on our property. It's gonna be very, I don't know how it's gonna work. So that, let me draft a letter.
You can forward what I said, just take out.
No, I mean,
It should come from you guys, it should be, you know, that procedure wise, and so I don't have a problem with that, I just didn't want to be the one to step on your guys' toes.
so they have to have a building,
Right, I think, you know, I think,
so I don't know how they'd be able to do anything with that handrail, because the building permit would show that that's already on the property, and the setback alone would prevent them from.
I haven't looked at the property line, it might be a little swirly, I mean, sometimes they start there, and then it might go down a little, I don't know, like it would be grandfathered, and if they're gonna repair it and paint it and stuff, but like the issue is it looked like they brought some super heavy equipment down there and went all the way around the house, and so they're just using it as like, oh, great, this is easier to get it down this way, because up where the house is, it drops down, so that's not our
I
fault.
mean, at least they're not doing it from the street, they're doing it from that basement.
Yeah, they took out that basement window, so that's their access. They have that huge access that they just board up at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not, I mean, they should have to. I think how it worked at 19 is the building commission got involved, and they did fine them, but then the town council had to vote, we were supposed to, the previous town council was supposed to say. At that 19, they were gonna grant them access to use the stop during construction, and they let them 3-2. I was completely opposed to it, and I think you were too, but,
I was looking to take a legal action.
yes,
The town for that, for allowing that down.
yeah. The town let them tear up, 19, it did get repaired, but for the whole summer, people couldn't use it. And, I mean, if you buy a house, in my opinion, you need to be able to rehab it just like we all do, like, I can't put a big bulldozer on my neighbor's lawn, just because it's more convenient.
Right.
So, you know, that's how that procedure went for, I don't know, it might just be as simple as someone will reach out and they'll say, we'll never do it again, and, but I think they should, in my opinion, like I said, have to be the ones to go through the trouble of repairing it to our cost, because we're all volunteers, it's like more work, again, I mean, my husband planted all that sod one whole day, and now it's ruined, and so why should we have to keep redoing this? You know, some contractors will just be like, if I'm me, here's the check, no skin off my back, but like, they should coordinate it, they should make sure it survives, we're gonna have to water it. They're gonna have to make sure that it comes back and that it's to our approval, not just like, you guys take care of it and send us a check, and, you know. It's more about effort, I feel like, and when,
Yeah, for sure.
but that's how it worked at 19 last time, so.
So I will handle that. Okay, do you guys have any opinions about places in the town on the stops where we need, split rather?
No, I think that you said it, I would agree when you said it, we should get them where it's not a priority.
I'd have to walk it again with eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you're at $20, so just take a look, see if there's, we'll talk about it next meeting,
There, 26, and
those don't need anything, they just don't. Yeah, there's nowhere to go, you know, because of the walls and the topography. 29, we know, so let's focus on 29, let's see what happens with this. I'll go down and take a look at 15 again, but the homeowner to the east of 15 is super friendly to the town, we know him. Doesn't want to get into our, area, you know, but he's happy to take care of it, doesn't want to build anything on our area. So, I mean, I don't think we have an issue with 15 personally. And we could just easily add a fence very quickly if we need to. So, all right, let's take that course of action. I'll let you guys take a look at the letter before I send it. Most people are pretty good about it. All right, any other new business that I missed? We do need to set that date, so we'll email a date to get together. And, do you want to be involved with that?
With me, Sarah?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Possible, I'll give you, okay. And we, so I guess we'll wait for public comments, we have nobody online today, and did anybody want to make a public comment?
I sort of, it's just, since I don't have like I just have some things to say, it's not a big deal, but I thought,
Save it for public comment.
Do I have to leave you in 2 minutes?
Yeah, maybe it's 20, it'll be like, okay, so something to think about that I have been, trying to do since I got on the council, and it's funny that Sarah brought up something about the community center today, and this is just food for thought for now. It's not like an action item or anything, but I think that it would be a good, option to fold the community center under the park. I know,
I
because,
remember the last time you brought this up, and Joe was sitting right back there, and it was like the end of times.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you tell
Yeah, well, there's a couple of benefits. I mean, first of all, the community center needs a ton of work. And I've been I went down this road of trying to figure out how the town can raise money, and met with some people. And I think where it's ended is there's a group of people that I've met with. I don't know how big it's gotten, they're keeping me in the loop, but they're gonna form their own kind of LLC, whatever you want to call it. Like, kind of like the, Civic, to raise money, lots of money. I mean, we're talking like millions over, like 5 years. To do it independently takes out a lot of the red tape, but so we think that that's probably the best way to go. But that being said, that building's a big undertaking. It has, the board right now does a great job, and they're really hard workers. They mostly do the maintenance of it and the upkeep, and, there's no budget for it. But if you roll it under the park board, the town can take out a bond for it. We can say we need $500,000, and we just took out a big bond for the community, for the police and fire, which was great. And I think we need to do something like that for the community center too. And that can't be done really as the community center board now. But if it was under the park board has different sets of rules. It's governed differently. There's members. It follows rules. You can raise taxes. We could do a special tax for the town, that would go to the community center, but it all kind of the community center board right now just exists as like a club. It's not recognized by the government, the state auditors, it has no real power. It's just our board of people that run that, but as we all get older, and everyone on that committee at some point, they're all gonna get tired, and they've been doing it for like 15 years at least, if not more. And then we need to think about like probably some sort of maintenance company to keep that going. And I mean, there's Tom Dahl, it's a big job. He does such a great job in the town, but there's things like the heat, the HVAC, the roof, it's a historical building. So there's that to consider. I mean, it's just a lot. So some sort of like outside maintenance company, maybe needed in the future. So just think about it. I've thought about different ways. I mean, it could still exist how it does now, where there's a group that's more like the day-to-day operational maintenance, if you will, but more calendars, things like that, definitely. But then more decisions and not fundraising, but budget and things like that would fall under. How many are on the committee over there? Like 5.
That would be a project on scale of this building over here.
Yeah.
It would be, and we would have to permanently get resources to help manage that.
And that would have, right, and I think that it could be restructured differently. It could still be the members on the park board, but then there could be maybe like 5 or 10 more people on the community center board that would then report things to you guys. Like, this is, we're the design committee for the new playground. We're the design committee for the new layout of the carpet, the paint, the windows, or whatever. And this is all just food for thought, but the way it's set up now, if that doesn't change, I don't see that building. It's never we should all, I think, in the community be able to have a great space like that, public safety building for everyone to use.
That carpet.
Right. The town owns the building.
Yeah. I just think that the fact that if it's under the park board, I mean, the park board's always done such a great job of all the stops, all the things or whatever, and it wouldn't have to be that much work just dumped on you five, because there would still be that group and hopefully other people that would just do that stuff, but it still works cohesively with the park board so that like, if you wanted to take out a bond for it, it's done through the underneath on behalf of the park board, and, you know, that's how things get done on the committee. Being on the council now for 6 months, if it sits at the council, like, but if the committee comes and says, this is what we want, this is our ideas, will you guys vote, done. Like, otherwise, I just think it might be a good structure to think about, to adding more people to the community center board as it exists now, and then there's just some legal things that Chris and Trista have to do to make the community center kind of fall under the park board legally. And it's more of like a paper thing,
But it's owned by the city, by the town.
yeah,
So right now, any maintenance or upkeep is coming out of,
it's still coming out of the town. I mean, that wouldn't change, but it just, I feel like it's hanging on by a thread. And I'm,
There's it's,
Yeah.
like, we need a
Yeah, you
vision.
know,
right,
We need a
Right.
vision.
right. And that's what I had tried to do with a vision and a plan, and, I think it will come together because the girls that I met with are pretty involved and have some good ideas, and it's gonna, I think, work a little bit more like civic, like, okay, we've raised $100,000 for carpet and windows, and then the committee, you guys, for the town, would still need to have final approval, like the town, they can't just go like, we want pink windows, here they are, put them in, like, it still have to be approved. But at least there's like a process and a little bit more control over it, because like you said, it's hanging on by a thread, and we can't just, I think it's a great building, it's a great resource, but it could even be better. It could even be better.
I don't want to say that 1,000%. I think there's so many things that could be done, like just even the use of the space could be utilized for use much more. We don't have to take advantage of advertising, we don't have something that consistently cleans the space as well to make them look desirable. There's a lot of things that needs to be maintained and just aren't, because
Right.
we don't have something that is very maintenance.
well, that's fine. I mean, you could have 2 full-time people that are employed by the town that manage that building. If it was a school, that's what you have.
Yeah, but I don't know if you even need that much, it's not
If
busy.
you're gonna do what you're talking about, it is a major undertaking.
is there a property manager?
No,
No.
but it's, yeah, it's good.
It is.
But like, when it's empty, you know, somebody needs to oversee the HVAC, all that kind of thing, and then there could be a way. I don't think it would need 2 full, I mean, half the day, especially like in the middle of November, there's like 6 people in the Y and that's it. So there's not enough, at one point Susan Bissing she was employed and that's what she did, and there was nothing to do. I mean, besides maybe like.
What I'm talking about is the overhaul and rebuild of a historic structure in the town is gonna take, you know, a big contracting firm and somebody to manage that firm and somebody to manage how it's gonna be kept up after it's done. And it's not gonna be what we're doing now, it's falling apart, you know, so it's gonna have to be a serious, you know, it's gonna be a different situation completely than what we have today. So I mean, we're an effective board, and I just don't want us to be thinking the park board should get it just because we happen to be an effective board. Maybe a new board needs to be developed, like started, even if it's ad hoc board that folds under maybe us even, or maybe they report directly to the town council. That's gonna be the 5 people that are gonna oversee getting architects coming and quote it and get it overhauled, figure out how we're gonna manage it going forward, and figure out how we're gonna manage the maintenance of it going forward. And then when they're done, here you go, town, here's your building. And then we have,
Right, that's what I want to see too, but I think in order for that to flow properly, legally on paper, it needs to fall under the park board. But the park board itself has different rules, like you can take out its own, they can take out their own bond, they can, because like no town council member can be on a park board. It's got its own tax levies, it's got its own like funds that come in, it's available to do different things because it's a park board, so you can run your park, I mean, I don't know, that's where the park program should be run out of, it's the actual biggest park in town. The fact that the park board doesn't really control it, and it wouldn't have to be dumping it all on, like I said, this 5, it would be more people doing it, but in our town ordinances and in our rules, it's
I
kind of.
get it, I get it, what you're saying, I get it. Just-
Well, and I think if the effort gets put there, then obviously we're gonna be re-envisioning what happens in that space anyway, and it would be less.
Yeah, just something to think about, because I started, like I said, I thought it would be easier, but then there's a lot of red tape with the fundraising. And, Trista's idea was the easiest thing is for them to probably raise money and the town may still be able to do some sort of fundraiser like Chief's done with, different people writing a donation check here or there. But full on like hosting big galas and things like that is not gonna happen under the town, but can happen under these people. And then there can be complimentary things going on with the town, like sort of how, like I said, how they did for the public safety building. But with I guess the long story short, the current system is unsustainable and somehow we need more people in another committee over there, a rehab committee or whatever it may be that, just, and then another layer would be checking in with you guys about stuff, because like if this group is sort of talking about wanting to put in a splash pad or things like that, like the park board should have a say in that, and if there is no sort of kind of path for this group to come through the park board first, you guys would lose all control of what happens. And I think it's just silly to me that it's the biggest park we have, and it's the community center, and it's the one thing the park board doesn't do, So.
It's because our park board is set up as a really small group of volunteers. Like,
Sure.
a real parks board pays
Right,
nothing, like a real,
Right.
salary.
right,
So because it's so much to do,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying, like, whoever's gonna be doing it is gonna be retired, or they're gonna be doing it as a job.
yeah.
It's huge work.
And maybe once, who knows, down the road, if there is all these things going on with live activities every day and things, then there would be another person, like a full-time, so.
What's my,
In a few years, yeah.
this, my position and how it evolves came about private work, with the idea that long term, we would be able to do more. But part of our problem is the building doesn't have the ability to be managed that way, because there is this weird dynamic of like, hardcore pays rent there, but we have to get approval for spaces, we can't plan things to be there. And so, like, if you could make my position, a full-time position, for somebody who has something that's like hospitality management, the marketing, PR and stuff, I think it can do very well with someone full-time. And like right now, there are some where there's a lull, but that's where I use for my training for like summer camp training for things. So I think the evolution of this job, my guys considered to not the immediate training, changing the long-term management of this, be the person that I'll be there when someone's going to do HVAC on Tuesday or, and you can always call me when I would get the call, I can get that delivered immediately. That somebody is there, as that, person, I think would be the next progression of it. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably, you know, the, being employed there the most, and I'm there that much, but if you do progress, I think it'd be a perfect fit together, especially that they have it all set up, get a table for the use that by default, I think long term, that would be big.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like chief town administrator role with the community center, like a community center administrator.
I mean,
Yeah, so that's it. I just been thinking, what would you need to make that? I don't know.
I can't fit into you. Like, I guess your guys, the park board's, willingness to, explore how that would look. And again, sorry, because I only talked to Chris and Tristan, we aren't helping anybody. But, I mean, I could get more information how that was structured. We find, how we will homeless jobs, find people that want to do that work over the community center. Because the group of girls who wanna do the fundraising, that's different, they're all, they don't wanna, necessarily get into the weeds about like, you know, do we need to replace the inner workings of the boilers, they just want, we're gonna raise a lot of money and hopefully allocate it to good things and the town can say yes or no, but some like architect, engineer, group of volunteer people that, can help redesign, and, I mean, I have some ideas for the building, but they're just my ideas. So,
When was the last time the mechanics were inspected? Do we know what their lifespan is at this point?
they were done with some of the great job, we done with architect opinion and how we built this building. And, there was permit, he's great, but like Sarah said, they're volunteers too, and they do for ages and, you know, so they're, I know, with it, like, the building needs a lot.
But like 2 years ago, the HVAC went out, right, customer units started, so we had no air conditioning, and they, with all these things in between, but it was.
Oh, the coolers,
So, everything that was hard, and the worker was in all about it. But like, that was hard because no one was volunteers, so when we tried to coordinate people to do what needs to be done, it just took longer than if it was an employee whose job was that, so we needed to get that permit to people, and they did eventually give them before the end of the month, but like that, and you do get a good review of all that stuff, but it was not under the mission of the review, there was actually, you know, somebody managing it that had the ability to allocate funds and to make decisions.
Yeah. And like I said, I would hope that, because you guys couldn't handle anymore, it's already the busiest back board I think in town, the park board does all the great work, does this stuff. I mean, for sure, like public works, that's every, of course, they're like cutting heights, paving, they do like a ton too,
Yeah,
like.
and-
Huh?
Yeah, they'll have full-time jobs, I mean, they're.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so different, can we expand the park board?
I don't think so, I think it's a, you can, it's in the state code that it has to be, let me look, it says it has to be a certain amount of people, because there's rules like it can't be a town council member, and it has to be, I think, 5 people, and one's supposed to be no more than 2 can be from Republican, Democratic, so there's all those rules,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you can. But you could
that
always,
was a question, but I'm for sure.
you could always do what the community center now, just it's basically just a club. I mean, they have no power. You know, I mean, legally and with
They would govern that committee essentially, like, that committee.
But it's a.
Yeah. add more people in that sense, like, there's nothing saying like, I mean, the 5 people that are on the community center board that we appoint every 4 years at the town council is a board that the town created, so we could just create another board. Now, is it like a state recognized board that like can go sign a mortgage? No, but like you could, right, or what, I'm like, you could as the president of the park board probably go sign a bond right now for $1 million if you want to.
Yeah, it's just that what we need is we need at least a board member that's very, very passionate about that building and about this project. That's gonna wanna take it on as their only thing they do, basically, on the parks board as a volunteer. And then, yeah, we have a whole group of volunteers now, but to do work like that, I just don't think they have no accountability because they're not paid. So they all like the community center and they're gonna be proud of it and all of that, but just imagine just the management of the people, of the Joes, of the folks that are already passionate in their own way about it. All I'm trying to do is just highlight that this is gonna be a pretty significant undertaking and very different than just simply, hey, you guys are reporting to us now, let's go get some architectural estimates and see what this is gonna cost. And it's an ongoing, because that building now is beautiful, but now it's gotta be maintained like a brand new building, you know?
Right.
And that takes somebody that knows what they're doing. And really understands what, how to maintain a building like that, they're accountable for it. There's probably laws about, what we have to do, I don't know, but it's definitely worth talking about, but I don't know how 4 of us are gonna be able to manage.
Well, that's what I don't envision, I would disagree with you that my hope would be that you wouldn't need that 5th person to be that dedicated, because
basically function the way it's functioning now. Except for if you decide to take out a bond or increase taxes for the town or whatever, then you have the approval to do it unless, yes, we agree, but like the hands-on dirty work of like, what do we want for the vision or what do we think, that's a whole different group of people I think we need to look for. And it shouldn't add anything more to your guys' plate than somebody maybe coming, I mean, it's not gonna work perfectly, even honest, but like, coming to you saying like, hey, this is what we think, and we think we've gotten all these estimates, and we think it's gonna cost about this much. And we think we're gonna need, you know, this group's raised $1 million. Let's see if we can get a bond for $1 million. Are you guys in? You guys vote yes? We go take to the town council and say, this is what's going on, the park board's in, they agree, the community's like, once you get all the buy-in from all the committees, then it's easier for the town council to be like, yeah, we agree, let's take out a bond. But I'm hoping or would think, my vision would be not to add any more work to what you guys are gonna do, just find another passionate group that's more like. So I kind of feel like I found the fundraising group and, the ladies I met with, and they seem to be gung-ho about that. I mean, their goal's like 3 million over 5 years. That'd be amazing. So if there's got somebody working on the money and then somebody kind of doing what Joe, Doug, and stuff are doing now, and we're seeing it, and then a group doing future, what do we need, what would it look like, whatever, then everybody can kind of come together. So the more people that are involved and spread the word and care, that's how it get done. Because you're right, it'll never get done if there's just Paul gets assigned to the community center and trying to work with like Doug and Joe.
Do you feel like there's people that, a group that could put together a long-range plan that then, you know, we can react to more?
So, I mean, I'm willing to take on as much as I can but I definitely want the more people underneath.
Sure.
I mean, it's,
Yeah.
but like to help us kind of do what I'm doing now, trying to get a group, create groups together or change the structure or do something to, you know, it's like, my vision for that place is like a complete community center, like no renters. Except for maybe like Amy Shin for the fact that she provides service for the community. She comes here and does personal training, but people in the Pilates person, but the girlfriend sale does nothing for the town. It's a giant stress on the town. And she pays like $300 a month rent for that place. You can't even get full storage of that or whatever. So that though in that room and where the girlfriend's sale takes place with all those windows, like I would love it to be like great leather couches and a Keurig machine and a newspaper that gets delivered every day and a computer that's always on for people. Like my mom would have no idea what to do because my dad didn't log around to the computer every day, but just like a community center, like the books. That room, that the garden club's done such a great job with that garden, it's beautiful, and nobody sees it much to work out. If that community center was open and that was just like a lounge room and then nice carpet and a track walk and all the rooms surrounding it served a purpose, like people use the table tennis room, you got Pilates, you got a haircut room, you could have.
Don't forget our mahjong.
Yeah, and a group dedicated to the.
I mean, it's going to have like a permanent, you know, have it set up. That's, you know, game room. Like
Yeah, and just the place.
bridge and mahjong and.
For the kids too, I always thought like after school, and my kids were like that age, that they were too old to like have a babysitter, but I couldn't just be like, well, mom will be home from work at 7, you know, but like after they got done with school, you could go to the community center and there'd be like a Sarah there doing basketball or doing arts and crafts or doing help with homework. And maybe we charge for that, maybe we don't, maybe we work out or whatever, but a true like use of that space, not what it is now. Where it's just like cheaper rent than you can get on Highway 12 for a storage facility.
No, not anymore, we call them.
Huh?
Not anymore, we call them.
Oh, Colorado.
So
Maybe that's not public. I wanted like 2 minutes.
next step is really getting it down on paper and looking at not a formal long-range plan, but just starting to incubate that long-range plan idea so that, you know, people can wrap their head around it and see where it fits.
Yeah,
But you can have, my point, you can have a group of 5 people doing this for 2 hours, once a week, for 2 months, and still not plan ready.
probably, yeah, but maybe they will, maybe they won't.
Necessarily.
And this is just, I just think I think it's a good idea. I just think you're underestimating the
Probably,
scale of it.
but that's why we're start thinking, maybe somebody else will come up with a better idea. All I know is that I went to first grade there in 1978, and it's now 2024, and I swear, like, I still know where I sat. I can still see like, oh, that's where we used to put our pencils, like, we need to maintain
It'd be
that.
cheaper to tear down those.
Well, thank God that I'm gorgeous, but it's a historical
Yeah,
area.
that's what's gonna turn it into a $2 million construction project,
Yeah.
is that.
I think there's a possibility, like, for room 13, for, and even my office space now, that I know it's not ideal, but chunking it out a little bit, like, honestly, if room 13 had an flooring, and you put in like a mini fridge or something there, it'd be a perfect place for baby showers, bridal showers, and full family and stuff. It's just missing a couple of steps, and flooring is one of them. Yeah, this is stuff that I learned how to see a little bit, but I can budget that, like, it wouldn't be that much to have that room be pretty close to ready to be in that flow of, we have a space to use for these things, but there's a chunking it a little bit would make it easier as well, because like my office is the same way, once they painted it, the flooring, the trim, rearranged things, it's beautiful now, and didn't require, you didn't have to tear down walls and do all and whatever, but now that it makes a difference, how much you come, the space. Yeah, and you shouldn't burn the same way, the paint, new flooring in there, makes a huge difference for space, but those are only a few. Yeah.
Also phases, right? So maybe that's what that group can kind of identify is some phases that could be potentially worked through.
Yeah, just all food thought, because I don't know what the right answer is, but I just hope that there is an answer that we can do, because everyone loves it, but like, nothing is changing. And so, now if you leave it to, I would say, oh my gosh, like, what, you know, I don't want to call it disrepair where all of a sudden and there's no hope, anything to do, but put up a building, and then it'll be another, like, you know, blue building with white trim, or whatever, downtown, like, it's so great, like, we're so lucky to have that, the way that building looks and the way this building looks is so amazing, and so much great, and now that we found out we own all that land between the tennis courts and the community center, you could put it on pickleball courts someday over that day they don't buy, or a splash pad, or a dedicated yoga circle, or, I don't know, there's just so much. Or just leave it green, I mean, I like the green space too, I don't want to see everything, just like, whatever, so anyway, we were talking about.
Okay, well, it's gonna be, I don't know how we're gonna make. Let's progress that in this room, it's gonna take, you know, considerable time to even come up with a game plan.
I guess now just start thinking of, if you come across anyone you think,
That's what I think.
Start thinking of people.
Find people that, you know, are willing to.
Yeah, because I'm willing to spearhead as much as I can to get people on board and excited and whatever, and then kind of let them run with it, but and organize it all, and if that is what you all wanted to do, and that's what the town council ever thought it would be good to roll it up under the park board for tax purposes and things like that, like I would spearhead that kind of stuff, but I'm hoping to find somebody else that are want to help, just get involved. Cause that's what I think community center should be, but that doesn't mean that's what it should be. I mean, there's maybe a whole bunch of other people that think like, no, it should just be an insurance center.
So our is going very on this remodel, and the other group that's taking care of it, but what they did was for the areas that are being remodeled, they created groups that were invested in that, so like, for the children's ministry, people volunteered for involved, so like, if you're looking at kids spaces, pulling some of the families that have kids that are in Canada, in the first area of our class, it's a big deal. supporting those spaces, the ones using it, to have the guys that are playing ping pong talk about that space, what would happen in that space, but I really, because that creates a very, I mean, I have here and things that are that what we're going to know all the time, but that is all too, you're thinking that these dedicated spaces can be very convicting. Pull from those groups, like knowing your grandkids, I guarantee you probably have completing what they would want to do, or would want to do, or whatever, and that also concentrates, if you say like, what is your vision for that feels big? You can say like, what would we want to have as a dedicated space? What would you want to have as a dedicated game space? What would you want to have as a dedicated event? Yeah, we all things that also naturally bring people to the top of the hundred table, it's the kid stuff. Yeah, that's heard it all.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for the comments, Kendra, we'll take out.
I know you won't invite her to say dogs.
Well,
Okay, so, no more public comments, no one else is here, so I guess I'm gonna make a motion to close.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, meeting adjourned.